This segment is sponsored by AAA Ohio Auto Club.
Well, each year, college students and their parents face a very critical test that they probably don't hear a lot about in any classroom, and that is having insurance to cover unexpected costs. Ed Conley knows of this, and he is with AAA Ohio Auto Club here to share some of the info today for parents and students. Good to see you today, Ed.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. People are sending kids off. There's always the great concern, number one, about safety. But what are the special college concerns that parents in particular need to know about?
Yeah, there's a lot of things to think about, but not every parent's thinking about insurance right away.
Right.
And so we always suggest you sit down and talk with your insurance agent about the individual needs, but you really want to make sure that you're covering the belongings of your college student. Right? There's a lot of things that they take to school with them, clothing, electronics, textbooks. And maybe they got a nice graduation present from grandma, a nice necklace that they want to make sure is covered in case they lose it or it's stolen.
I'm embarrassed to say I've never even considered that. And
yeah,
my daughter she's a senior this year.
Well, it's a good time.
My gosh, I'm glad you're here.
Yeah. So it's a good idea to reach out. There's some limited coverage under your home insurance policy that provides for those contents, but it's very limited generally. And it's a good idea to make sure that you have enough depending on what all they're going to be taking.
Right. Okay, moving ahead then. We know that some kids are on campus, so maybe possessions being lost there is one scenario.
Yeah.
If your child lives off campus, is that a different scenario?
It is. So your home insurance policy generally will not extend coverage to them if they're living off campus in an apartment.
Okay.
So it's a good idea to take a look at a renter's insurance policy. It's going to provide pretty broad coverage for their contents. It's also going to provide some coverage for medical payments. So maybe somebody comes over to have dinner and they slip and they fall and they hurt their arm.
Whoa.
It's going to pay for medical expenses for that person, and then also liability coverage should they decide to sue you.
And it's really not that expensive for coverage like that.
It's really not. You can get a renter's insurance policy for around $15 a month.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
All right, so with vehicles are always a big concern, break-ins and other things. So what should we have as either an addendum to or something for just the vehicle?
Yeah, so when you're thinking about protecting your vehicle in those situations, comprehensive coverage on your auto policy is an optional coverage that you can add. Provides coverage for things like theft, damage because of vandalism, glass breakage. That's a coverage you want to make sure you have on your auto policy.
Okay.
There's going to be just some limited coverage for the contents in your car. Some policies look at that a little bit differently. Really good question to make sure you ask your insurance agent.
When kids are getting, or you're getting coverage for a child who maybe, granted, they're adults technically, but does age matter and does their driving record matter?
Well, driving record's always going to have a big impact on the rates, and age as well, whether or not they can get a policy on their own or if they should just stay on mom and dad's policy. Generally, if they're just heading off to school, it's a good idea to stay on mom and dad's policy. If they do go into that rental situation, they're living in off-campus housing right away, that's when they're going to need to take a look at a renter's policy on their own usually.
Parents out there watching right now, let's talk about AAA coverage for them. Maybe they haven't considered AAA for that reason. They use it for just the auto purposes that most do.
Yeah, so we have a really great team of insurance professionals. We have agents at more than 10 locations here in Central Ohio that are eager to sit down with viewers to talk about their insurance policies.
And it might be time to get a new quote.
That's right. So we are an independent insurance agency, and so not only are we the only agency in the area that represents AAA insurance, we can compare coverage through Nationwide, Progressive, Safeco, Grange, a lot of great companies to make sure that we find them the right coverage at a competitive price.
And I know we do have a special offer, right?
Yeah.
So our special offer for people viewing right now.
Yeah, so we have this great road kit that if they call in and they get a quote between now and August 10th for their auto policy, we're going to send them out this road kit for free in the mail.
This is amazing. It's a carry bag and it has everything they will need for safe purposes later down the road, or not need, hopefully.
Hopefully not, yeah.
All right. Don't forget that's only through the 10th, so get on it now. Just mention the code GOODDAY AAA to get it. And the number again to call is 1-800-288-4467. Thank you so much, Ed.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.